Hello everyone, Chris Hughes coming back to you, CarolinaPreps.com TV, joined as always by my good friend Jay Sonnhalter. So Jay, Happy New Year. Welcome to the 2017 football season.
Happy New Year, Chris. It's great to be back, and this is going to be an exciting season. I wish I had another year of eligibility, but I'm too old now. But I'm excited for these players and coaches to get going July 31st.
Well, if you can play one more year, I'll throw the coach's whistle back on, and we'll really get it done.
Deal. We're going to win a state championship.
We will. Happens. Well, hey, we've already won. Look at this brand new studio. Is this awesome or what?
This is great facility here, and excited to bring the coverage to the players and put the spotlight on the players.
Absolutely. We're going to bring the spotlight to the players, to coaches, to communities, everything involved around high school football. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. Let's get down to some business, though. Had a lot of changes during the offseason. Anytime we have a realignment, it shakes things up. But unlike normal realignments where it's 25% across the board, now they threw us a curveball. 30, 20, 20, 30, to where you have 30% in the 3A and 4A, 20% in the 1A and 4A. And what that's going to do is going to jumble up the playoff brackets as well. For the first time in any time I've ever heard, we're going to have buys in the first rounds of the playoff brackets. That's something that's really interesting. And come November, when we start breaking down our playoff shows, that's going to make for some interesting talk to see who might have a week off.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a big change for the players and coaches because they're going to be really jockeying now for those top seeds to get the bye week, and that's huge because at the end of the season, you want to get your rest and you want to kind of reassess things with your teams going into the playoffs. So I think it's going to be a big change. I think those top teams are going to have a big advantage with the bye.
Yep, and believe it or not, I've spent all week at the North Carolina Coaches Convention in Greensboro, and that was a major topic of concern. You know, do I even want a first-round bye? Should I not even finish first? You know, especially imagine if your team has got a Week 12 bye, you're off that last week, and next thing you know, you got 2 weeks off. You know, that's going to be jockeying and some strategy that we've never seen before.
Well, and I think there's a lot of dynamics that's going to come into place. Just like you said, you were there with the coaches and a lot of different thinking with this topic, but I think it's a good thing, and I think anytime you can get rest, especially at the end of the season, to heal up and really rest your injuries up and get your stars back on the field, being as close to 100% as possible, that's going to be a good thing.
Yep. Speaking of the coaches clinic, coaching changes. And normally we might have around 70, maybe 80. A couple times we've had 90. We've had over 110 coaches changes. And when there's only about 377 teams in the North Carolina high school football or the North Carolina Association, that's almost a third, over a third of our coaching changes. That's a huge story when you talk about continuity and just getting players adjusting to new systems and so forth.
Yeah, well, a lot of moving fans this offseason we're using. I think the biggest thing is from a player's perspective, you're getting a new voice in your locker room, a new offensive defensive scheme, a new playbook, and just a whole different outcome, you know, for your off-season training. So it's a big change for those players, and I think the stability of the programs. That's the one concern is no matter what the reason for the change, there's a lot of programs that have had changes and unstable situations this year.
Well, Jay, you played football at the top levels, East Carolina. You went through the training camp with the Washington Redskins, so you know what big-time football is. How tough is it in a change of terminology when a new coach comes in and you've got to learn a playbook? Of course, football is about the same, X's and O's. You know, they number the gaps the same, and most blocking rules are the same, routes. But every now and then, you know, you get those nuances that are different that a different coach may bring in. Is it going to be hard for the players to learn that and move forward?
Yeah, well, I try to equate it to learning a different language because it's really like you're learning a different playbook, a new terminology. But I think it's much tougher at the pro college level, obviously. But still at the high school level, you're having to do everything for the first time, learn the schemes, and really you're having to study. So I think it is a big learning curve, but depending on when the coach was put in place at the new school and really development of the players and their maturity to learn the playbook and learn how the new coach wants things done and to buy in really helps determine their success throughout the season.
Yep. Well, we're going to come back and we're going to start breaking down the top 25 rankings. We're going to debut the dynamic fitness and strength top 25 rankings here in just a bit. But Jay, last year we were on the blitz, so that meant we were playing defense. Well, I'm going to snap this ball, I'm going to hand it off to you, and I'm going to let you throw it to kick off our 2017.
Okay, so I'm throwing it.
You're throwing the ball.
Okay, I'm throwing the touchdown.
All right, let's do it right here. Let's start the 2017 high school football season. Again, for CarolinaPreps.com TV, Jay Sonnhalter, Chris Hughes. Set, hike. Let's go for it.
All right, this is spiral.
Yes. Let's get ready for some high school football. Let's do it.